Okay, destruction is all about keeping track of the cast and making sure that you have a plan for what to do. I found it easier to like hold interrupt sometimes. But the first thing that I do is I drop my Infernal and do a lot of damage here to the mini-boss in the start. Just pop cooldowns at the start. They will come back up twice during the fight anyway. I'm using, for talents, I'm using Backdraft. Shadowburn is really big. Demon Skim for sustain. Cataclysm, Mortal Coil, Roaring Blaze. You could potentially also use Reign of Chaos. It's not bad at all. Roaring Blaze is just a bit more sustained pressure. While Reign of Chaos focuses more on your cooldown windows. And the Dark Soul instability. So the one thing that was really important for me on this one was to keep Curse of Tongues up as much as possible. On the boss and keep it on focus target. I don't actually have it on focus target yet. I should do it soon. And then every time you want to play around the middle, if it helps, put a world marker in the middle so you can easily orient yourself. In terms of where the middle of the room is, because then you can get the boss to be in the middle, and you can get the Cataclysm on all the ads that spawn into a Havoc, and you can cleave efficiently in the middle of the room. Other than that, you want to try to find an angle so that the boss or the worm goes through these rocks that spawn in between the phases. There's no real point hitting the boss until it has at least just 2-3 stacks. So the boss damage doesn't really matter now. I put up an Immolate. I don't even Havoc it because I want to make sure that I have Havoc for the intermission phases. But I would just put one Immolate for shard regen. Keep track of when it casts the Sonic Scream so you don't silence yourself. And be aggressive with the Drain Lives early. Like, whenever you drop to like 70% HP, just press Drain Life here. It's all about control. Like, you're gonna have to heal yourself at some point anyway. You'd rather have it be early than late. The Earthquake comes, you're positioned in the middle, you can cleave on the guy. You press your Havoc and Chaos Bolts and Shadowburn and all that on the ads to kill them, and then you just try to find an angle to preferably get the worm to go through one or two of these rocks. The cue for it to go charge you is when it comes up from the ground. So when it comes up from the ground, you got to do that. Fell Surge totem spawns, you just tag it with a Shadowburn and it's done. Like, that's very, very easy to deal with. You just got to keep your eyes open for it and make sure you have shards. It's generally a good idea to sit on high shards for the majority of this encounter, so that you have the shards to deal with the situations that come. When it comes to the Fell Burst, if this cast goes through, you're almost certainly dying. You can wall one of them and recover, but it's just a really bad time. You really don't want any of them to go through. So if you have control and you see that you're able to fear it, that's usually a good idea to fear one early, so that you can have your kick in the back pocket. Again, totem spawns, just kill the totem. Kill all the ads with just Shadowburn spam, pretty much, after the initial Havoc Chaos Bolt. And try to make sure that the worm goes through too. So right here, you see it, I lined it up so that it went through two of the thingies. It still has 2 stacks, so I'm actually going to hold my cooldowns in this phase for the next phase, and then I'm going to pop my cooldowns afterwards. But yeah, the main thing about this fight is just keeping track of the interrupts and making sure that you have a plan for it. Like, fearing it instead of interrupting, if you can, is actually a good idea. Because then the interrupt is going to be off global and instant for you. So sometimes you will be caught off guard and not able to interrupt everything. Boss in the middle. And just dodge in here and try to kick stuff. See, there, because I used my fear on the previous one, I was able to just kick that one while I was dealing with the ads. So that is like something that I found to be very helpful, was to start utilizing my fear more even when I had my interrupt available. Coil is also very powerful. It gives you a lot of healing. So you see here, I'm going to coil pretty much every single time I have coil. Now the guy doesn't have any stacks, and I'm starting to burn the the worm now with my second set of cooldowns. Making sure that I don't get interrupted, but you get a lot of damage done on the worm here. In this window. Important to not lose track of what you're actually doing. And here I almost get trolled by the game. No, that's not actually the one. But I'm dropping kind of low here on HP. So this is a position you don't really want to be in. So you're going to see me probably going to sit and drain here quite a bit. Actually, I don't. But it's a good idea to drain when you're like below 50% HP. It's a good idea to just press drain and go for it. I press drain. Cataclysm in the middle. I don't have my Havoc ready yet. But I have my kick ready, so I know that I have my kick ready here, and I'm ready to take it. So that's going to be a kick. Make sure that I dodge the stuff on the ground, and just press Shadowburn to kill the ads, pretty much. Shadowburn is very, very good on this challenge. So you see here, even though I'm high HP, I'm just draining, because I know that I'm going to kill it in the next phase. Not this phase, but the one afterwards. When I get my cooldowns back. I get my cooldowns back in 1 minute, so I'm just going to deal with one more phase, and I'm going to burn the boss on the next one. Cataclysm in the middle. I used my fear here because I wasn't sure if I... This is actually a good point. So you see right here, I don't have my coil. I don't have my interrupt. So I'm actually just fearing him in order to create time for my interrupt to come back up, because I don't want to be caught in a situation where I'm reactively fearing him on the cast. So that's something that's kind of important. I get him onto the corner here, and this is where the game almost trolls me. So I try to kill it, and it's like, it's not there. I have to go over here to get line of sight of it in order to kill it. And I'm a little bit behind on the ads here, so this is where it gets a little bit hectic. Like, I need to be very, very careful here. But you can use Shadowburn to, like, very, very high efficiency during this, and just kill all of them, kind of. I'm going to do one more phase. Just going to fast forward here. Is one more phase of the Smallies. There we go. Use my Shadowburn. And then I'm going to press my... I have my cold ready. Interrupt with Infernal Stun instead. Press Havoc on the guy and just finish the worm off. So playing for control is always going to be the play on this fight, I think. The worm dies, and then it's just finish off the boss. There it is. So that's my walkthroughs for all three specs of what I did and what I think are, like, not necessarily a guide, but more like a walkthrough of what I chose to do on the challenges. Ta-da-da. I feel like I do it watching you, then I try. Does these challenges have enrages? They have certain enrages, yes, but not time based enrages. Easiest spec. I think